In Chicago, Chinese and American business leaders have wrapped up the first day of the annual Joint Commission on Commerce and Trade. For the first time in 25 years, hundreds of representatives from both countries were invited. And our Jessica Stone has been covering the action for us in Chicago and joins us now live. Hi, Jessica, what's the latest?
Hi, Michelle. Well, it has been a very busy day here in Chicago for the private sector. Those 100 representatives just representing the private sector alone, they have had discussions on coordinating food safety, increasing investment on both sides of the Pacific, increasing travel and tourism between the nations. And we are also getting new details on an agreement reached between 8 Chinese cities, including Shanghai and Beijing, and the city of Chicago. They will increase trade for small and medium-sized businesses. Here's China's Vice Premier announcing the agreement Wednesday.
I'm happy to learn that 8 cities will build a small and medium-sized business service mechanism together with Chicago, and the Chinese Consular General will appoint a special official to be responsible for connecting the businesses between the two sides.
The vice premier also defended China against concerns from the U.S. business community about the anti-monopoly law there. U.S. foreign direct investment in China has dropped. But Vice Premier Wang said in the past 6 years, only 10% of the enforcements have been against foreign-owned businesses. Meantime, Chinese investment in the U.S. is at record highs, supporting more than 14,000 U.S. jobs, we learned from the U.S. Department of Commerce today. I recently traveled to the U.S. state of Alabama to visit a Chinese copper company that is setting up shop in one of the poorest counties in the country. Time seemed to have forgotten Pine Hill, Alabama, in the years since a timber scout first named it in the 1830s. But now this town in the poorest part of the state is boasting 150 new jobs, with the promise of hundreds more from a country an ocean away, China.
Okay, there are about 65 folks here from China. Okay, you can see it's moving every bit so slowly.
Keith Weil is Golden Dragon Copper's North American vice president. Golden Dragon makes copper tubing for heating and air conditioning units. It's been selling to American customers for 10 years. It takes nearly the whole length of its production facility to stretch copper as thin as it needs. The key is to make a pipe this size into a pipe this size. And at the same time, Golden Dragon is also cutting down its transport time to its American customers from weeks when they transport from China to just days now that they're in the state of Alabama.
So we're closer to the source of copper and not too far away from the customers, generally within 1,000 miles.
Are you glad you came to Alabama?
The answer is yes.
But Roger Zhang, who is the president of the company's North American operations, acknowledges that bridging cultural and language barriers between employees is a major part of the job. Golden Dragon is also pushing back against a unionization move by its American workers. Mark Ma came from China to translate between the company's 65 Chinese veteran engineers and the local Americans they're here to train.
Yes, it's really important to have the people have a better understanding with each other.
This says Lori in Chinese. When I first got here, the Chinese thought my name was Lori. And this says Laura in English, Laura Lewis.
Laura Lewis says she's learned a lot from her Chinese colleagues, and she's grateful for the work.
I really didn't have no other choice. It was the only option that I had because there's not any work here.
So this is providing a pretty good income for you and your family?
It is.
And for a town with just one stoplight, every job that's created gives another boost to the local economy.
It's cool to be us.
Sheldon Day is mayor of the town next door, Thomasville, Alabama.
Oh, it doesn't just affect Thomasville, it's affecting, probably six counties. So it's a huge impact for our region.
A region now trying to leverage Golden Dragon's presence into attracting suppliers and other international companies. So there might be an example for Alabama in the way Chicago has attracted Chinese businesses. More than 40 Chinese-owned businesses now in this area, Michelle. And Thursday's meetings here in Chicago will focus on closed-door negotiations at the government-to-government level towards a bilateral investment treaty. Also continued discussions over intellectual property rights and increasing U.S. high-tech exports to China. Back to you.
All right, we'll check in with you then. Thank you so much. Jessica Stone reporting live from Chicago. All right.